You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Stowe still covering the ground here in Louisville, Kentucky, coming off an epic winter storm recently. Here inside the KFC Yum Center, fireworks, pyrotechnic sparks, and one of the nation's hottest basketball teams, and it has been years than the previous two combined. And we're expecting what could be the biggest crowd at the Yum Center since 2022. So an upward trajectory for Louisville, trying to stay on a roll when it's 8 straight. They begin the game with a turnover. Day-Day Ames of Virginia will rattle it out. Chucky Hepburn back to defend. Pops the ball in the air to Terrence Edwards Jr. Here's Rain Smith, the game's first shot for Louisville, and he is fouled on it. Fouled shooting at 3.
Is going to tell you to close.
5-28 from the free throw today. No Noah Waterman today. He's out 1-5 in the ACC under interim head coach Rod Sanchez, coming off a buzzer-beating or close to it loss to SMU on Wednesday. McNeely flanked by Javon Hadley. A top 2 is good for the sharpshooter offensive rebounding team, one of the country's best. And Hadley will give it back to Hepburn. The Colorado transfer, Hadley with a 3.
Put it on the floor, but are also capable shooters.
UVA lowest scoring team in the ACC, which is not a surprise with their pace, but also the worst shooting team, under 43%. Kofi against Scott. Absolute mismatch, and the big man takes it away for U of L. Here's Edwards. A jitterbug from James Madison is fouled.
Does for this team. He does for this team.
That first meeting, just see the little resume for Pat Kelsey. Back-to-back trips to the tournament at the College of Charleston. Great success at Winthrop, too. Ames wraps it around for McNeely. Saunders gets a good look for 3, and he's a good shooter.
Has struggled with consistency, but he's pretty talented in terms of his versatility.
Hepburn back from Scott. Bouncing in the lane, throws it off of Brody's knee. Loose ball to Hadley. Smith is open. And for Virginia, those are the 3 most...
Offensive rebound. You cannot leave Rain Smith at any point in a half court.
Ames probing. Blake Buchanan on the floor had one of the best games of his career Wednesday for UVA, 11 and 15. Saunders back-to-back deep ones.
5-26. It's a team that needs to make threes.
Edwards right in between McNeely and Saunders. Great touch to the game for the 5th-year senior. Just dunked by Saunders at the other end. 13-8, the Louisville lead. 5.5 minutes gone by. Virginia's got the freshman guard Ishan Sharma on the floor. Into Saunders again. This time he will finish. He's got 8. Hepburn trying to wriggle his way around Buchanan and went into Buchanan for the foul.
Well, they just, this offense, I think it's a combination of both. I think
it's the guy you want taking a shot for UVA. They're all-time leaders in three-point percentage, 3rd best. That's the guy you want taking the shot if you're Louisville. Smith with it.
Even when he misses, the ball goes halfway down.
Brody. This time it's an easier finish for Buchanan, his first 2. Sophomore from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Already got 4 rebounds after a career-high 15 Wednesday. Edwards takes a bucket, scores through it. He's got 6. Taken. Edwards puts it off the glass and good. Strong finish.
Keep Terrence Edwards out of the paint.
McNeely lost it. Here comes Traore. On a hapless Virginia defense the last couple of possessions. Elijah Saunders back on the floor, and Saunders gets fouled. Back under the bubble. Those games on ESPN2. Already into double figures for Elijah Saunders.
Yeah, well, this James Scott comes over to block the shot and commits the foul.
Hepburn back on the floor for Louisville. Edwards, lob. Scott is bumped and fouled. freshman Sharma was down there, and him 6'5" on the
things for Louisville's offense.
Missed by Scott. Snapped a streak of 20 consecutive without a field goal for 3 minutes plus right now. Rhodey slips it through to Kofi. Ames open. Ames off the iron. Chased down by Rhodey, though, and a rare offensive rebound for Virginia leads to a three-point opportunity for Kofi.
In the direction of some of these younger guys. Kofi.
A little bit of a drought for Louisville here, and Edwards will try to change that. Inside, Anselm got fouled. 7 games into the season against Oklahoma.
Teams after they lost Pryor and Ole Miss, and I think we're starting to see that with Isaac McNeely. There's so much pressure on him to make threes, and he just doesn't have it going.
Smith. Rain Smith with his third from deep. Active leaders in three-point field goals made. Only Gibson Jimerson in St. Louis with more than Smith. Inside, Hadley. Good feed from Hepburn. Ames stayed down. Hadley will just bully his way in with a left. Colorado is a huge part of a very good Buffalo team a year ago. Louisville returned 2 points. 2 total points from the year. Not points per game, 2 total. As Ames gets a wraparound layup for his first bucket. Aiden McCool a walk-on. So Traore will stay on the floor. Virginia's only going to go 8 deep. Again, Noah Waterman not available with a sore right thumb today. Hard screen by Kofi. That freed McNeely for a good look. Miss. James Scott had been 55 for 67 from the field. Dunks everything in sight. Virginia shooting just 8 for 23. Saunders, and there is a foul called there. And Saunders may have baited his way into that. That's who is the 6th best free throw shooter in the ECC. Will serve foul again. This time he didn't get it.
Get a good look there. You iso him at the elbow. He's just got to show a little composure.
Edwards spin zone on Buchanan. Edwards and his James Madison team beat Chucky Hepburn's Wisconsin team in the first round. That 12-5 game. Edwards is the leading scorer for JMU in the upset with 14. Rhodey inside over Hepburn. There's the first basket for Virginia's.
Remarkable how much better Andrew Rhodey is playing. You and I had their Memphis game. He couldn't have been worse. Had 5 turnovers in the game.
Edwards again muscles his way in and answers with
the basketball.
Dozen in this game. Mention his struggles in conference play. His last 5 averaging 9.8 a game. The previous 5 he was at 21 a game. McNeely, and McNeely scores plus a foul.
Straight layups for him. There he sees a free out of bounds. They love going to him.
Hepburn, welcome to Scott too.
Yeah, well, if it's at ease, he is so good and they are so efficient.
It's one of the things that really jumps out watching them. They always seem to get a great shot. Saunders got it back from Rhodey into Buchanan. And Scott had his head down. Blake Buchanan for a 15-point lead for Louisville. It's down to 9. Minute plus to go in the first half. Edwards, Scott again. Jump McNeely's pocket. Rhodey. Saunders, deep one, not close. Louisville will have 7/10 of a second. Hepburn. If only that had been the first field goal. Chucky Hepburn, or probably more frightening if he's guarding you. But Hepburn with a slow start has not mattered too much. He does have 4 assists to only 1 turnover, and he's looking for another assist here. Smith could not hit from 3. It's tracked down by Scott. And Louisville's 6th offensive rebound. Cardinals shooting at 45%. Cavaliers 36%. Edwards rejected but fouled. Buchanan.
Going in the direction of Blake Buchanan is the way to go. Now there, you give us, we're going to play with effort and compete.
that he will get that kind of effort and that this, he hopes, is the turn for him. He had 15 rebounds, 6 of them in the closing minutes. And Buchanan takes it here, burns down the house on the feed for McNeely.
And a very nice pass from McNeely. You see the attention he draws. That tag defender, Javon Hadley, comes over late. And what a finish through contact by Buchanan.
Averaging just over 5 and 5 a game on the year. 5 for Louisville. Hepburn, Smith, Hadley, Edwards Jr., and Scott. Here's Hepburn stepping inside Buchanan. And Hepburn another miss. Grabs his own miss. This time he's got Saunders on him. Jitterbug into the lane. And finally, Chucky Hepburn gets a bucket to go.
That should, no matter what.
Andrew Rohde just 1 for 6 in that first half. Virginia led by Saunders with 11. McNeely's got 7. Poked away by Hepburn. Now it's Edwards running against McNeely. He'll step inside and score.
What a play by Hepburn to force that turnover. Just a little sneaky play from behind.
Into Saunders, trying to throw it down through a couple of Cardinals. Took a hit. Pat Kelsey told us before the game he thinks
he has gone to a much higher level.
Hepburn gets it back off the inbound, trying to turn the corner on Ames. Now using his physicality, leans in, misses. Scott does not. All season. Intended shoot for Hepburn, spinning on Haynes. Hepburn at the rim. Well, McNeely's missed 3. But I like what you did, because not a lot of people are picking Notre Dame. So if they win, you can go, hey, I was on top of that. Well, as Hepburn is short on a 3. Ron Sanchez and Tony Bennett have talked a lot about how Virginia has succeeded as a developmental program, and there has been a lot of ink spilled, a lot of words said about how it's harder to do that now in the NIL transfer portal era.
The job description of being at Syracuse is battling some of the fallout from.
And yet here they are, winners of 7 straight, alone in second in the ACC. Looking for all the world like a tournament team. Hepburn lobs it, and you knew it was going to be Scott on the end of that.
And they're so good at reading James Scott defender. As he helps up, that's when they throw that lob. It's automatic.
An epically long drop for Virginia. Meanwhile, Hepburn with a steal. Here comes Roots. He's hacked by Robinson. 9.
In fact, Louisville had a play like this against in their Clemson. Anyway, it ended up being upgraded to a flagrant.
Sharman, meanwhile, who had huge baskets late against SMU, takes his first shot of the game and probably hits it.
He's in to make an impact, and he's a really good shooter and has bailed them out of some games this year.
With a tying 3 and 4 free throws late against SMU Wednesday. Edwards all the way. Traore rips it away from Buchanan. Abubakar with a finish. McNeely looking for space, gets it into Buchanan, and Traore blocked the shot but got called for his
day.
Just 3 of 14 as Buchanan hits on ESPN. Congratulations to Don Staley, the highest. Smith gets back to Scott. Edwards from Hadley, driving and delivering to Scott, who lost it on the way up. McNeely. Sharma, another 3-point try for him, and it's good. So Virginia threes go down from Saunders, missed 11 in a row, and now Sharma's hit 2 straight. And here's a takeaway with Ames running the break to Robinson, and a foul. A little life here for Steele.
Yeah, great read, and that's helping the helper.
Smith hasn't hit a 3 in a while. He'll take it to the basket and get fouled. Followed up by the higher caliber.
Early in transition, all these coaching things. He's in great shape, so he's always in perpetual movement, and he's super confident. So he always believes he's going to make the next one.
Ames got to the rim, swirls it home. Nice finish by Day Ames. Edwards has it, steps back for three. Saunders back on the floor with a rebound.
Shot selection for Louisville has not been great over the last few minutes.
Buchanan takes it into Scott, draws the sixth. Louisville 33, largest crowd since coached here against some of the best Louisville teams.
The best in college basketball. The sport needs it. Forget just the ACC. And I did that game on January. Galvanize, and look, the sport needs Louisville, and it needs this building.
Hepburn goes 2 for 2. Louisville game notes. And Kentucky are playing some of the best basketball they've played in years. But this game is far from over. Saunders.
Louisville's got to get back to attacking the basket.
Hadley back on the floor for Edwards. Louisville's injury woes continue. Looks like Edwards is having the left knee checked out. Smith gets free. Smith hits his fourth three-pointer.
Or do that. He is.
ESPN. Looking forward to that one. Another exciting day of ACC hoops. Hadley into Saunders. And there's a push-off. It's going to go against 1-1 for Rob because of a sore right thumb. They get a game. Robinson's got 5 points, 3 rebounds, 7 minutes. Good hustle plays. Rhodey with a three. Robinson got a hand to it, overjumped it, and he's late to get back into the play. So 5-on-4 for Hepburn. Sets up the three. It's good from the corner for Roots. Just his exactly 7 assists, and his 8th straight game of at least 7 assists. He's 5th in the ACC. There's a basket for Hadley on the drive, plus a foul, and this.
Von Hadley, what a smart play.
Have at least 8. A balanced scoring, you mentioned off the top, bearing fruit. Saunders drives and finishes, and another three-point opportunity. 7th way back into tournament consideration. That's 9 o'clock.
North Carolina's starting to play much better. You speak of freshmen, Ian Jackson is really starting to figure it out.
Yeah, Carolina team that had a brutal non-conference starting to find its form as had 1 point ahead of him. Smith will drive it on Sharma. Saunders got a hand in the cookie jar. And then a foul. Ted Valent. And more free throws for Smith, who's now 6. Virginia got this thing, the margin of victory, 2 weeks ago in Charlottesville. That, by the way, was the first time Louisville had won in Charlottesville since 1990. As Rhodey splashes one from deep. And Rhodey along 2. It was a 9-game win streak for Virginia in this series. Hadley start over Robinson. He's
small lineup out there for Louisville. Tough to find a matchup for Anthony Robinson.
Saunders posting Traore at 6'5". And Saunders uses his size advantage. 19 for Elijah. McNeely's yet to hit a 3. He had 33 straight games with a made 3. He might be at back-to-back games without one. Another rip away by Hepburn. Traore spinning and winning. Yeah, guys, a hot Arizona team. Undefeated things can and will happen. 21-point game here. Louisville set to sweep Virginia in the season series. Rode about 15 minutes west here, Shawnee Park, as McNeely hits his first 3 in the game. He's got these uniforms to honor that great part of their city. As Scott is fouled, scores it.
York City. Dirt Bowl is one of those.
In the ACC, they'll only see them one more time, and it's on this floor as they host Pittsburgh in March.
It's crazy remarkable. I mean, I said it at the beginning of the game. You know, Pat Kelsey's one of those coaches. He rolls out of bed, he's going to get you 25 wins. From where they were to think that this team could do that and make the NCAA tournament, it is as good a job as we have seen.
As they host Pittsburgh in March.
It's crazy remarkable. I mean, I said it at the beginning of the game. You know, Pat Kelsey's one of those coaches. He rolls out of bed, he's going to get you 25 wins.
Start to its ACC tenure. Cole Sherman, junior guard from Louisville, is in the game. Aiden McCool, the one player who had scored a points roster. TJ Power also in the game for Virginia, 23, who is a much sought-after transfer from Duke, who's fallen out of the rotation of late. 1 minute to go as Sharmas misses thunderously, put back in by Rock. Cole Sherman, the Louisville kid, is going to put his name on the score sheet. I know somebody's watching this possession. Murray for three. It's good. Tane Murray makes this a 14-point game, and that appears to be where it will end up.
Yes, it does, Kevin.
And Louisville's going to dribble out the clock, which is going to draw some mixed reactions from some. Paging our friend SVP. Final seconds ticking away. The Louisville Revival, the Reviveville, as Pat Kelsey called it, rolls merrily along on this Saturday afternoon. 7-1 in ACC play, 8 straight wins for the Cardinals. Pat Kelsey